I'd like to start out this afternoon by welcoming everybody, and I'd like to talk about our elected and appointed officials that are here with us today, and I'm sure another one snuck in on me, so we'll make sure we catch them all. First off, Mayor Venus, Mayor of Eugene. Thank you, Mayor. Councilor Semple. Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Clark. Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Pryor is rumored to be here. I haven't seen. There he is. Hello, sir. And City Manager John Reese in the City of Eugene. Hi, John. For the executive team, we have Sarah Maderi from Public Works in Eugene. I saw Nate Bell here from Springfield Finance, and Shane Hertz from HR in Springfield. If there's an elected official or an executive team member that you're sitting next to and I missed, can you please raise your hand so I can recognize them now? Okay, thank you. This is such an opportunity to meet with the community in a way that it honors the people that do the great work that they do every day. I tell people I have the best job in the world because not a week goes by that I don't go to somebody in the community telling me what an awesome job our crews did to take care of them every single week. If you look up in our office, we have hundreds of letters from out of state thanking us for taking care of their homes and their property and their families while they're on conflagrations all across the West. This is an opportunity today just to recognize some of the exceptional work that our crews do every day. And so we have a lot of ground to cover today, so I was going to get right into it. And I was going to ask City Manager John Reese if you'd like to say a few words this afternoon.
Wonderful to be here, and it's great to see all of you. This is one of my favorite occasions every year to come out and see the celebration, the achievements of all of our firefighters and professional staff. And so it's just a great time to be here. Thank you for joining all of us. I do have the honor this afternoon to present an award to Chief Zaludik for some work that he's done and a certificate that he's obtained that's pretty monumental in a fire chief's career, and I'll ask you to come up in just half a moment. What I would like to say is Chief Zaludik is an amazing and outstanding and extremely creative fire chief. For those that know him, he is in constant motion, and one of his sayings that he says is that we should spend each day doing as much as we possibly can without getting fired. And so far, Chief Zaludik is still here, and I can attest to the amount of work that he does. So Chief, why don't you come on up, and I'd like to give you this recognition. And this is awarded by the United States Fire Administration and Federal Emergency Management Association in recognition of successful completion of the requisite courses of study and applied research projects. The National Fire Academy, under the authority granted by the 115th Congress of the U.S., and on recommendation of the faculty, confers the title of Executive Fire Officer upon Joseph S. Zaludik, with all honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining, and it was awarded in May 2018. So, Chief, congratulations. I know this is a great milestone. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Ray Brown. I'm the Deputy Chief of Operations for Eugene Springfield Fire. And today I have the privilege of introducing the newly promoted personnel and describe the duties for their specific position. Our first promotion today is Dave Wiltermood in our logistics to the position of Emergency Equipment Technician. Dave's assignments as an emergency equipment technician are many and varied. He is responsible for maintaining the entire City of Eugene's hydrant program, which involves the repairing and maintaining of all the city hydrants. He tests and repairs annually ground ladders, engine pumps, and extrication equipment. He repairs and maintains small gas engine equipment such as chainsaws, positive pressure ventilation fans, and lawnmowers to keep the stations looking nice. He also does fabrication for the department's needs and the organization of our annual aerial ladder testing for 6 trucks. These are just a few of the many tasks Dave performs. Dave Wiltermood, please come forward and receive your promotional from the Chief. I would now like to briefly discuss the challenge of earning a promotion within Eugene Springfield Fire. First and foremost, every firefighter, engineer, captain, and battalion chief are firefighters first. When they make the decision to advance in the profession, it is the start of a journey, and they do not put behind them the knowledge, skills of a firefighter. They enhance and add to the foundation. We are fortunate at Eugene Springfield Fire to have a great development programs to engineer and officer. Their programs are a year-long process that involves several classes, practical drills, an incredible amount of self-study, and multiple evaluations in classroom and on the drill field. Organizationally, it is a team approach by the dedicated training staff, the candidate's crew, and the candidate themselves. Once they have successfully completed the development program, they have demonstrated that they are ready to perform on an actual emergency scene. They are then periodically assigned to be an acting engineer or officer to further develop their skills and gain valuable practical experience. Every 2 years, they get the privilege of taking a comprehensive and very competitive examination in the hopes of earning a promotion. I also want to recognize that this process entails not just the commitment and sacrifice from the employee, but also their entire family. The study and preparation often takes many months and years. To the families, I want to say thank you. Within the past year, we have promoted 6 personnel to the rank of engineer. John McEwen, Danny Defoe, Jason Vasquez, Devin Monte, John Cullen, and Dan Phillips. At this point, I'd like for you all to please come forward. One second, Chief. In addition to functioning as a firefighter, the fire engineer drives, operates, and maintains firefighting apparatus equipment such as fire engines, trucks, brush engines, and water tenders. These apparatus can weigh between 40 and 70 tons and require great skill to safely deliver them and their crews to an emergency scene using the most efficient route of travel. Our engineers must perform in all weather conditions, day or night. The fire engineer must possess a good working knowledge of the principles of hydraulics, various firefighting equipment, and fixed fire protection systems found in buildings within our community's response area. Engineers, congratulations on your commitment to excellence and your successful promotion. Please prepare to receive the oath of office from Chief Saludic.
Please raise your right hand. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will faithfully perform the duties of engineer, that I will strive for the preservation of life, property, and the environment, and act for the good of the community, that will uphold the rules and regulations of this department, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of my position.
Congratulations. Within the past year, we have also promoted 7 personnel to the rank of captain. Scott Fitch, Dan Giles, Patrick Steinman, Jordan Peterson, Ryan Sheridan, Paul Van Buskirk, and Nathan Sweetser. I would like for you all please to come forward. In addition to functioning as a firefighter, the fire captain is the administrative officer and leader of the fire station, which houses one or more fire suppression and emergency medical transport companies. As such, the fire captain oversees fire suppression and prevention activities, rescue and emergency medical intervention, treatment and patient transport, as well as training, public safety education, and other related duties. The captain, under the direction of the battalion chief, plans and schedules training, provides direction for the maintenance of their assigned apparatus and station facilities, is responsible for the development of the personnel under their command. The fire captain is responsible for the assignment of work and for the identification of target hazards within their station's area, as well as developing pre-emergency plans. Most importantly, the fire captain is ultimately responsible for ensuring the readiness and safety of the personnel under their command, as well as the safety of the citizens in our community. When first on scene, the captain is the incident commander and responsible for setting up the scene for a successful resolution. The company officer is often referred to as the backbone of the fire service. Captains, congratulations on your promotion. And please prepare to receive the oath of office from Chief Saludic.
I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will faithfully perform the duties of captain. That I will strive for the preservation of life, property, and the environment, and act for the good of the community. That I will uphold the rules and regulations of this department, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of my position.
Within the past year, we have also promoted 2 personnel to the rank of battalion chief, Mike Caven and Chris Paskett. I would like to ask Chris Paskett to come forward, please. Unfortunately, Mike Caven could not attend today's ceremony, but he wanted me to tell everyone aloha. The battalion chief rank is made up of a team of professional firefighters who serve in training, logistics, and shift operations. A team of 9 battalion chiefs in shift operations work together to coordinate the activities of 3 rotating 24-hour shifts with 16 stations and approximately 235 crew members. On any given day, each battalion chief is responsible for 1/3 of the metro area. That's 5 or 6 stations and approximately 25 team members. The BC is responsible for complying with federal and state standards while supporting and implementing the department's mission, goals, and objectives as directed by the fire chief, the city managers, and both city councils. On a daily basis, the battalion chief must exercise appropriate judgment and discretion. Responsibilities include, but are not limited to, managing fire suppression operations, managing various other emergency scenes, planning department-wide activities, while leading and managing personnel for the purposes of community service and fire protection activities. Battalion Chief Paskett, congratulations on your promotion. Please prepare to receive the oath of office from Chief Saludic.
I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will faithfully perform the duties of battalion chief. That I will strive for the preservation of life, property, and the environment, and act for the good of the community. That I will uphold the rules and regulations of this department. And I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of my position.
Congratulations all on your promotions. Thank you.
confirming. Okay, next we're going to have the presentation of departments, awards, and certificates. Could following crew members please come to the front of the room here? Craig DeGarlis, John Hoagland, Ryan Harvey, Robert Sink, and David Nowak. Please join us at the front. These are the crews from Engine 5 and Medic 5 that are going to receive the Distinguished Service Cross. It is awarded to a member of Eugene Springfield Fire who distinguishes him or herself by an act of outstanding and exemplary service while in the performance of a position of great responsibility. The act must be such as to merit recognition for service that is clearly exceptional and demonstrates devotion to duty, selflessness, and personal courage. The actions of Captain Craig DeGarlis, Firefighter John Hoagland, Firefighter Brian Harvey, Firefighter Robert Sink, and Firefighter David Nowak in the early morning hours of October 17, 2018 were nothing short of exemplary. Engine 5 and Medic 5 were dispatched to a first alarm assignment for a structure fire at 536 Oakdale Avenue in Springfield, which sits less than a block away from the fire station. As they arrived to a well-involved house fire, crew members noticed extremely loud cracking and popping noises. The firefighters began to deploy hose lines, survey the structure, and set up for fire attack. It was then that they realized that the noises were gunfire and a concealed gunman was shooting a shotgun at them and advancing on their position. The 5 firefighters sprang into action. Firefighter Sink declared shots fired over the radio, called for police, and then proceeded to give a detailed report of the shooter's location and description for incoming units. Captain DeGarlis called for emergency traffic and warned incoming units to stay away from the scene. Crew members used experience and instinct to extricate themselves from the scene while under fire. Firefighter Sink found himself pinned down by gunfire behind the ambulance. The rest of the crew worked together to plan for his escape. Using quick thinking and timely radio communication, Firefighter Sink recognized that the gunman was reloading and called it out over the air. Seizing on this opportunity, Captain DeGarlis called for him to come to their location and then led his crew to safety. After taking inventory at Station 5, it was discovered that all 5 firefighters had been struck by the shotgun blasts. Miraculously, not one was physically injured. During the initial shooting and subsequent standoff, 3 adjacent houses caught on fire. A total of 5 houses were significantly damaged or completely destroyed. After the gunman was subdued, the entire crew of Engine 5 and Medic 5 demanded to return to the scene to attack the now rapidly spreading fire. Their quick return to the scene prevented the fire from destroying the 5th house and the neighborhood beyond. Captain Craig DeGarlis, Firefighter John Hoagland, Firefighter Brian Harvey, Firefighter Robert Sink, and Firefighter David Nowak, we thank you for your service, your bravery, and your dedication to this department and to our joint communities. Today we are honored to present you with the Distinguished Service Cross. This is a little off script, and we'll get to this later in the program, but I just want to have a shout out for Eugene Police and Springfield Police crews that did a magnificent job of providing protection for our crews in the community during that event. And just thank you very much. I know a couple in the room, and thank you. The Service Award. Will Marcia Pendleton please come to the front? Hi, Marcia. I'll read while you're coming up. It is awarded to the service award is awarded to a citizen or community group that provides exceptional service to the department personnel that significantly contributes to their effective and safe operations. We consider Marcia and the Eugene Police 911 communication staff as part of our fire department team. Our responders cannot serve our community without their professional support. That is why you will find Marcia under the Employee Awards of our program today. Marcia is receiving this award for exemplary actions on October 17, 2018. Marcia was a dispatcher that received the Oakdale Avenue shooting call that morning. Your calm interactions during this call brought a sense of ease to an already hectic situation that begun to unfold. You handled this exceptionally well, and you helped everyone go home that day and guided them through a very tough call. We thank you for your exceptional service to all of Eugene and Springfield Fire Department personnel. Thank you. Life-Saving Award is John Deininger here today. I'd like to visit with John. Here he comes. I'll talk while you're coming up, John. Yes. The Life-Saving Award is awarded to a member of Eugene Springfield Fire who, while acting within their scope of his or her training and expertise, performs an exemplary act determined to be directly responsible for the saving of another's life. Engineer John Deininger is being awarded the Life-Saving Award for his heroic actions on January 9, 2018. On this day, Engineer Deininger was off duty riding his bike near Valley River Center when he noticed a person floating down the Willamette River. This was in January when the weather was very cold and he knew something was wrong, and he turned his bike around and started yelling out to the individual. Engineer Deininger realized that the person was in severe distress and he called 911. He then looked for a place to try to intercept so he could grab the person and pull them to shore. He found a spot in the river with a small peninsula and started wading through thigh-deep water in the January cold water. The individual not only drastically outweighed Engineer Deininger, but was also too hypothermic to assist with his own rescue. Engineer Deininger therefore had to grab onto the struggling person, roll him 40 feet onto the shore, and then pull him the rest of the way out of the water. All this was done while Engineer Deininger was still on the phone with 911 through his earbuds. Without Engineer Deininger's quick thinking and heroic actions on this cold January morning, it is very likely this person would have died either from hypothermia or drowning. Thank you, John. Eli Theens. Sir. Firefighter Eli Theens is being awarded the Life-Saving Award for his quick thinking and expedient actions on a call at a home in Springfield on March 21, 2018. Firefighter Theens was responding to a respiratory distress call with very little call details other than the patient had a history of allergies. When Firefighter Theens arrived to the dispatched house, he and his partner found the doors to the residence locked, but Firefighter Theens heard a faint cry for help from the garage. He quickly moved to the rear of the house and found that found a door to the garage was also locked. He heard another cry for help. Knowing that someone was in desperate need of help, Firefighter Theens did not waste time getting the forcible entry tools and kicked through the back door. Firefighter Theens found a young man attempting to harm himself with an electrical cord. The patient was bounced on one foot on a plastic laundry basket on top of a stool, trying to relieve pressure. Without hesitation, Firefighter Theens quickly took out his Leatherman tool, cutting through the cord. He did this without knowledge if the cord was plugged in, risking electrocution. He then assisted the patient down, opened the garage door, and calmly walked the patient outside to the medic unit. Firefighter Theens' sharp thinking, courage, and immediate actions were paramount in preventing this young man's death. Thank you, Eli. Another life-saving award. Edward Blake, could you please just come forward and be recognized for a second? We're going to do yours with another award later, but as part of the life-saving awards, I just want to recognize Ed Blake, and we will see you in the Citizens Award. Go ahead and have a seat right here, so we'll pick you up in a little bit. Sorry about that. The Humanitarian Award. Jeff Kronzer, if you could start your way forward. Battalion Chief Jeff Kronzer. The Humanitarian Award is awarded to a member of a work group of Eugene Springfield Fire who through work consistently demonstrates a dedication and commitment to the fair and respectful treatment of others while advocating for these principles in a spirit of selflessness and compassion. The recipient has accomplished this while maintaining a positive and professional attitude towards the work of the department and displaying a sincere commitment towards serving the public. Jeff Kronzer. Through the years, Battalion Chief Kronzer has touched many lives through his compassion for others and his willingness to play an integral role in helping fire personnel through challenging experiences. Battalion Chief Kronzer has repeatedly taken the lead on contacting families during difficult times, organizing events, delivering meals, making hospital visits, and assisting personnel back to the job. The Humanitarian Award is given to an employee who consistently demonstrates a dedication and commitment to the fair and respectful treatment of others while advocating these principles in a spirit of selflessness and compassion. For all of his dedication and compassion to those around him, this award is being presented to Battalion Chief Jeff Kronzer. Diana Chappell, if you could start your way forward. Hi, Diana. Gene Woodrich, you're on deck. Firefighter Diana Chappell is being awarded the Humanitarian Award for the kindness and compassion she continuously shows to others. An example of her kindness and compassion was clearly demonstrated at a women's basketball game at the University of Oregon on November 11, 2018. At this game, Firefighter Chappell crossed paths with a patient with diabetes that was obviously in need of food but did not have the funds to purchase what was needed to keep her blood sugar levels up. Firefighter Chappell recognized that this individual was lacking money to purchase the groceries and nutritional food that was clearly needed and selflessly dedicated her own personal time and money to help this individual. After her shift, Firefighter Chappell went to Safeway and bought groceries for this person and her elderly mother to get them through the weekend. The patient was deeply emotional and thankful for the true kindness shown by Firefighter Chappell. It is this behavior such as this that demonstrates why Diana Chappell is receiving the Humanitarian Award. Thank you, Diana. Now we're at Class 2 commendations. I'm going to start reading about Class 2 commendations while Gene starts up here. Class 2 commendations is awarded to a member of a work group of Eugene Springfield Fire whose noteworthy performance contributes substantially towards the furtherance of the goals and objectives of this organization, while promoting the improved effectiveness and efficiency of the department working beyond the scope of their normal duties. Gene Woodrich. Captain Gene Woodrich is being granted a Class 2 commendation for her work on the Young Women's Fire Camp. Captain Woodrich not only established a program here at Eugene Springfield Fire, she has helped it grow into a remarkable program that it is today. With the support of the department, training staff, and union, Eugene Springfield Fire now has hosted an annual camp for the past 9 years. This camp has provided countless young women the opportunity for mentorship and team building to help them learn leadership skills, confidence, and the strength to face any situation they may come into during their life. These are lifelong teachings that they will never forget. Captain Gene Woodrich's efforts are a notable contribution towards the department. Thank you, Gene. I'll get through here. I have a letter of appreciation for firefighter Eric White. Firefighter Eric White is receiving a letter of appreciation for the outstanding job he did on a motor vehicle accident on Delta Highway, February 13th, 2018. What seemed like a routine accident involving only minor injuries turned out to be a life-threatening emergency for a 12-year-old boy. Firefighter White was assigned to stay with the boy during the call while waiting for medics to arrive. At first glance, the boy seemed to be suffering from only minor injuries. Firefighter White, however, recognized that this boy was in the early stages of distress caused by the collision. He noticed the boy was not acting like a normal 12-year-old and he was showing signs of a life-threatening injury. This accident did not seem serious enough to inflict the kind of injuries it had produced, but Firefighter White's exceptional attention to detail, thorough assessment, and ability to analyze the situation led to the recognition and rapid treatment at the hospital for the boy's life-threatening condition. Thank you, Eric. Is Dr. Melissa Doherty here today? So, you'd like to come forward? I'll read it in her absence. Dr. Melissa Doherty is going to also receive an Achievement Award in recognition of her noteworthy service and time spent as the Eugene Supervising Physician for the Eugene Springfield Fire. Dr. Melissa Doherty is being granted this Achievement Award. During her 12 years she has served in this position, she has accomplished amazing things, as EMS Joanna Campy mentioned in her nomination of this award. Under Dr. Doherty's direction, Eugene Springfield Fire has implemented continuous positive airway pressure, carbon monoxide monitoring, interosseous infusion, King airway placements, new methods for surgical cricothyrotomy, gastric decompression, field triage scoring, tourniquets, wound packing, and more. Dr. Doherty has also changed the way Eugene Springfield Fire responds to cardiac arrest with high-performance chest compressions and the pit crew approach. This department has saved numerous lives under her direction. We are talking hundreds upon hundreds for some of the things that she's changed. She has seen this department through several operational changes, including the development of non-emergency contracted services during the merger of Springfield Fire and developing the BLS system, Basic Life Support, as we know it today. Dr. Doherty's attention to quality improvement, case review, and training has kept this department moving forward and continues to challenge us to be the very best. Thank you, Dr. Doherty. The next award is a Medical Services Award. Will firefighter paramedic Heidi Carson please start forward? Read the description here. The annual Medical Services Award is given to an employee who demonstrates a dedication to respectful treatment of coworkers and patients, consistently presents herself in a professional manner during the provision of medical care, serves as a positive example for other employees by virtue of her reputation and good work, and displays sincere commitment towards serving the public. Before I hand Heidi the award, good timing, read off some of the comments that the people that said that nominated her for this award. Heidi is an absolute pleasure to work with in the station, on calls, and at drills. She is always displaying her sunny and smiley disposition every time I see her. Heidi is positive, professional, compassionate, and happy to serve the patient's needs. She takes the time to listen to her coworkers first on scene, then she does a complete assessment and determines what would be in the patient's best interest. I have never heard her be rude or complain about a patient. She is a true gem and a model for all new employees. Thank you, Heidi. Safe Operator Award. Well, Dan Allred, Jordan Peterson, John Riley, and Eric Carter, please come to the front. Deputy Chief Brown talked about our career development programs a little bit. I'll just talk a little bit about our Safe Operator Award. We take safe driving and all safety very seriously. It's part of our culture. And every time we have somebody that meets the 5-year mark of driving without an event, we recognize them. And this is a big part of our culture. We really take it a pride in making sure that we respect the community and each other while we're getting to the call safely. The Safe Operator Award is awarded to a member of the fire department who's been an engineer for at least 5 years and has not been involved in a reportable accident, during this period. To be eligible for this award, they must have consistently demonstrated excellent attention to all facets of a vehicle operation, including courtesy, safety, maintenance, routine, and emergency driving, and established apparatus practices. The Safe Operator Award is awarded every 5 years. Thank you, gentlemen. Okay. I'm warning you, it slips a little bit, so get your hand on it over here. I would like to turn this over to Fire Marshal Amy Linder, who will be presenting the Golden Strobe Award.
Thanks, Chief. So I am very pleased this afternoon to be awarding our very first annual Golden Strobe Award, which is awarded to the Fire Marshal's Office Employee of the Year. When we think about the Golden Strobe and what a strobe is in the fire service, it's a flashing bright light that consistently functions in coordination with many other devices in service to all occupants of a building. It's a part of the horn strobe, lets everyone know what's going on, but it doesn't work by itself. It takes the detection and all of the strobes flash. So it's one part of an integral system. And that's how we look at our fire marshal's office. They work together with our building community, our business owners, our firefighters, and they do many different tasks. So like the strobe, the Fire Marshal's Office Employee of the Year is committed to the responsibilities of the organization. They deliver exemplary service to both internal and external customers. They perform consistently at a high level in both productivity and attitude. They serve as a role model for others with a positive attitude towards their work responsibilities, customer service, and their colleagues with other departments within our cities. They consistently demonstrate a willingness to work with others and assist whenever needed to accomplish the goals of the FMO and the fire department. They create a positive work environment and enhance the image of Eugene Springfield Fire. And they provide service beyond their assigned responsibilities. So, I'm not kidding. You gotta watch this thing. So I'm gonna read just a couple of excerpts from the nomination for this year's award winner. We're keeping it a secret. No one even knows who's getting this yet. It's our first one. So this year's honoree was described by his nominator as somebody who demonstrates both a can-do and will-do attitude by remaining very positive even when faced with a heavy workload and complicated circumstances. He's quick to support his teammates whenever he can and has a remarkable attitude of willingness. His customer service skills are second to none. He is a leader in the area of customer service. And like a strobe, he flashes brightly and consistently within the office of the Fire Marshal. So it is my great honor to present the inaugural Golden Strobe Award to Deputy Fire Marshal Merrill Harrison.
Good afternoon. So it's my privilege to round out this afternoon with our Citizen Awards. We'll start with the Life Saving Citizen Award. It's awarded to the citizen who, by their own action or initiative, or at the direction of a department member, performs an exemplary act that is determined to be directly responsible for the saving of another one's life. If I could get Alex and Andy Zanuga, Benjamin Dodge, Dr. Jason Friesen, and Yosef Al-Harmani to come forward, please. During a City League soccer game at Roosevelt Middle School on August 20th, 2018, Alex saw a teammate suddenly collapse during the game. Alex, Andy, Benjamin, Joseph, and Yusuf ran to their teammate's aid to see if they could help. They quickly checked for a pulse, but were unable to locate one at the time. They immediately started CPR until first responders arrived. Eugene Springfield Fire Captain Mike Hunt was first to arrive. He described the scene as picture-perfect resuscitation with great bystander CPR. By the time the patient was loaded into the ambulance, he was already starting to moan. Within 4 days, the patient was released from the hospital, neurologically intact. Without the quick response of the soccer team, this patient would have had a much worse outcome. It was due to the actions that he is alive today. For this reason, Alex, Andy, Benjamin, Jason, and Yusuf, you're being awarded the Citizen Life Saving Award. Presenting the award to them this afternoon will be their teammate, Mo. Did you get it? We're good? Okay. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. For the next life-saving award, if I could have Dorothy Johnson, Barbara Davey, and firefighter Edward Blake please come up front. You stand there? All right, fair. On April 16th, 2018, Dorothy and Barbara's compassion and bravery saved the life of a woman suffering from an emotional crisis in a retirement home in Eugene. These caring women immediately sprang into action as they witnessed a woman suffering an emotional crisis climb over a railing on the 3rd floor of the atrium in the retirement home. Dorothy ran to the individual, pulled her back against the railing, pinning her against it and not allowing her to fall. Barbara quickly joined and assisted with the efforts to save this individual until Eugene Springfield fire crews arrived on the scene. Firefighter Edward Blake was first to arrive on the scene, and without regard for his own safety, he quickly sprang into action and was able to reach over the railing, putting his own life at risk, and pull the individual back over the railing to safety. If it were not for the quick and heroic actions of Barbara, Dorothy, and firefighter Blake, this emotional event most likely would have resulted in a terrible outcome. For performing an exemplary act that is directly responsible for saving a life, Dorothy Johnson and Barbara Davey are awarded the Citizen Life Saving Award. Additionally, firefighter Edward Blake, you are being awarded the Department Life Saving Award for your actions. For the next life-saving award, if Don Cole, David Pendleton, Brandon Maynard, and Shirley Babbitt come forward if you're here. On February 15th, 2018, the actions of Don, David, Brandon, and Shirley saved the life of a Lance Cabinet employee. Don, who works at Cinetas First Aid and Safety, happened to be visiting Lance Cabinets on this particular day. Not long after Don's arrival to the business, he witnessed one of the employees collapse. He immediately ran to the individual's side and checked for a pulse without success. Don, being trained in CPR, immediately sprang into action and began chest compressions. He was joined shortly after by David and Brandon. While they rotated between the roles of CPR, Shirley located an AED and brought it to the patient's side. The co-workers applied the AED and let it analyze the patient. The AED indicated that a shock was advised. The co-workers shocked the patient and continued CPR. When Eugene Springfield fire crews arrived, they found a patient to have a life-sustaining pulse. The patient maintained that same pulse all the way to the hospital. The patient was later released from the hospital, neurologically intact. The Citizen Life Safety Award is being awarded to these 4 individuals for their action that unquestionably resulted in the patient's life being saved. For our next presentation, if Miranda Rust, Kelly Wiley, and Nick Wiley, please come forward. On July 28, 2018, Miranda, Kelly, and Nick were floating the river, enjoying a hot summer afternoon just east of the Armitage boat landing when they spotted a man that was in need of help. The individual was hung up on a branch, partially submerged, and face down in the water. Miranda, Kelly, and Nick quickly made their way over to the body to try and help. They found the individual to be unconscious, unresponsive, not breathing, and without a pulse. Miranda and Kelly, being registered nurses and well trained for emergencies, quickly went into action. While bystanders called 911, they pulled the individual out of the river onto the riverbank and began CPR. Miranda and Kelly did chest compressions for over 30 minutes, while Nick held the man up along the edge of the river, and they were successfully able to revive the individual. He was transported to the hospital shortly after. Without question, the quick actions of Miranda, Kelly, and Nick saved this individual's life. We're proud to present the Citizen Life Saving Award to Miranda, Kelly, and Nick. Nick will be receiving the awards this afternoon as Miranda and Kelly are still busy saving lives at work. For our next award, if Gene Bates, John Vaughn, and Gordon Chenanet, did I pronounce that right? Chenanet? Josh. On September 24th, 2018, Gene, Josh, and Gordon thought it would be just another day at the office. Little did they know this would be a day they would never forget. Shortly after arriving to work, Gene witnessed one of his employees getting up from his chair and immediately falling to the ground. Gene instantly ran to his side. Josh, being in the other room, heard the commotion and came out to see what was going on. He saw his coworker pale and lying on the ground. They checked their coworker for a pulse but were unable to locate one. He was in cardiac arrest. Gordon came in from another area of the building and saw the situation at hand and ran to get the AED. All 3 men acted promptly by starting CPR and grabbing the AED that was on site and applying it to the patient. They performed quality CPR until Eugene Springfield fire crews arrived and were able to take over. The patient was transported to the hospital and received triple bypass surgery. The quality and expediency of Gene, Josh, and Gordon's actions this day played a vital role in this patient's survival. Today, their co-worker, Todd Skelton, will present them with the Citizen Life Saving Award. Thank you, gentlemen. Next will be a certificate of appreciation. This is awarded to a citizen or group who renders assistance to the department involving the normal work of the organization that provides noteworthy and laudable contribution. Ross Friesen, are you here? Or Friesen? On October 17, 2018, Ross was at home on Donahoe Street in Eugene when a neighbor alerted him that the house next door to him was on fire. Ross bravely jumped into action to help his neighbor. He grabbed his garden hose and not only successfully extinguished the fire, but also had the presence of mind to shut off the gas at the meter. Thanks to Ross' expedient actions and the willingness to risk his own personal safety, the fire did not extend into the interior of the house. For his decisive actions, Ross is being awarded the Certificate of Appreciation. The next award will be the Valorous Service Award. The Valorous Service Award is awarded to a citizen who, during the course of an emergency incident, places him or herself in a position of significant risk to life and or personal safety while rendering aid or assistance to a department member or the public. Melanie Creel, if you're here, please come forward. No, Melanie's not here. I'll read Melanie's award here. On October 1st, 2018, Melanie placed herself in a position of significant risk to her own personal safety to help another. At around 0100 hours, it's 1 in the morning, Melanie woke up to the sounds of screaming and crying coming from the alley outside. Unsure of what she might encounter, but with full intentions to help, she grabbed her baton and went outside. What she discovered was a woman screaming in a nook made of large blackberry bushes. She was trapped, and fire enveloped the bush, as well as the women's belongings and the adjacent fence. Bystanders looked on, not knowing what to do. Despite the inherent danger she faced from the spreading flames, Melanie fearlessly ran into the fire, grabbed the individual in danger, and led her to safety. The Valorous Service Award is being awarded to Melanie for her courageous act of service and putting her own life at risk to save another's. Unfortunately, Melanie couldn't be here to attend with us today, and we'll make sure she receives this award. Next presentation of Sergeant Evans, Detective McIntyre, Officer Ledbetter, and Jason Mock. Let's come forward. On September 25th, 2018, Jason Mock, a custodian at Monroe Middle School, was taking the trash out at the school when he heard what sounded like gunfire. One person, directly in front of the school's exit, was shot and immediately dropped to the ground. Jason cautiously ran to the victim, not knowing if the gunman was still in the area or whether he might come back and shoot the victim again. Jason helped to remove some of the clothing from the victim to assess his wounds. He immediately realized the victim had a very serious gunshot wound to his leg and was in need of immediate first aid. He removed his sweatshirt to make a makeshift bandage and pressed it into the wound with all his weight, providing direct pressure. He continued to do this until relieved by the first police officer on scene. Officer Ledbetter arrived, who directed Jason towards the school as the scene was unsafe for him. Officer Ledbetter quickly grabbed his tourniquet, applied it to the victim, and began applying first aid to the wound. Detective McIntyre and Sergeant Evans arrived shortly after Officer Ledbetter. They both assisted with first aid until paramedics arrived on scene. Without the quick actions of Jason Mock, Officer Ledbetter, Detective McIntyre, and Sergeant Evans, the patient would not have survived. The quick actions and management of a life-threatening hemorrhage truly saved this person's life. Jason Mock reacted immediately when he realized another person was in need of assistance and without regard for his own safety, ran into danger. He did not know if he would potentially be shot himself, and he just knew someone needed to be helped. For risking his own life and possibly his life, Jason Mock is being awarded the Valorous Service Award. Additionally, Officer Ledbetter, Detective McIntyre, and Sergeant Evans, you are all no strangers to putting your life at risk to save others in danger. We thank you for your bravery and your quick actions that saved this individual's life. We're privileged to present you with the Eugene Springfield Fire Life Safety Award. Is there a representative from PFS Tyco here? Tyco, come on forward, please. This will be for the corporate award. The corporate award is awarded to a business that has rendered exceptional service of a non-emergency nature in cooperation with the department on an ongoing basis and significant contributions towards the furtherance of the stated mission of our organization. This year's recipient is PFS Tico. PFS Tico has donated several loads of non-structural plywood and oriented strand board. The department has done a lot with these materials provided. To include, training staff has built storage boxes which have aided in the consolidating of resource materials and being able to keep the items clean and ready for use. We've been able to construct larger training areas to augment our decking on our roof prop. We use this roof prop to practice cutting holes with our saws and axes. Additionally, firefighters train to create holes in vertical walls to enable entry or exit from structures. Instructors have also built small houses out of the material to educate about airflow path patterns. This is to demonstrate to firefighters and others what happens when you oxygenate a particular part of a building when another section of the building is on fire. This has been a very valuable tool for our new firefighters. The Eugene Springfield Fire appreciates the materials you have graciously donated. Your contributions have allowed us to save funds and put towards other areas within our training section. Chief Zlutic will award the corporate award. Thank you. Chief, closing comments?
Thank you so much for coming out today. I'm so proud of this department, and if you look at the way our community is growing, you see all the cranes that construction is going up higher and higher. This wonderful organization is going to grow with it, and I just want to maintain the culture of service that we have today as we grow into the future. And so thank you so much for coming today. I'm so proud of all the efforts of all of our courageous firefighters and public that jumped in during the response, and let's go have some cupcakes. Thank you.